Today we're going to be junk journaling, but on a bit of a smaller scale than usual. This is an A6 pocket notebook from T. Fossey, and in comparison to one of their normal A5 journals that I have, this is how small it is. It's actually about like half of the size of the other journal, which is so funny. This video is not sponsored, but I just wanted to show you guys where I got my little pocket notebook from, and we're going to be doing some scrapbooking in it today, which I'm really excited about. The one downside about this journal is that it does not like to stay open because it is so small. There's not enough like weight to hold it down. Can I get this clip around the page? There we go. So it does kind of want to like come up a little bit, so hopefully we can get it to just lie somewhat flat. Now, as far as the plan for this spread, I don't have one. The only thing I wanted to add in this spread is this receipt that I got from Half Price Books because I went to a bookstore yesterday. I want to put this somewhere, and again, I just like the size of the journal. So we're gonna have to do some layering and some rearranging, but besides that, I have no plans for this spread. I do have all of my boxes of stickers, ephemera, scrap papers, stamps, washi tapes, things like that in here. I also have a date stamp that I may want to use, of course my alphabet stamps that I pull out all the time, some other random sticker sheets. Like I have a lot of choices here, but sometimes the problem with decision fatigue is that if you have too many options, it's hard to pick one. So I have been doing some scrolling on Pinterest earlier to find some inspiration, and I think the first step we need to do is go through these boxes of stationery and see what style of ephemera that I have is calling to me today. Like what type do I want? We do something like dark and vintage with these, something more colorful. Personally, I feel like I do a lot of like browns and tans in my scrapbooking because it's just a color palette that I am more comfortable with. So I think I'm gonna try to pick colors that I usually don't work with, less like vintagey styles and maybe more pop arty. I'm not quite sure. Green is also a color that I often fall back on. I don't know why. It's just that beiges, greens, pinks, those are like my comfort zone. And so I'm trying to branch out of that today and do something very different. I'm kind of like taking things over here that I like and dropping the ones that I don't. I know it's kind of hard to see off camera, but I'm looking for the color yellow specifically. I don't know why, but it's like speaking to me right now. These yellow dots could be fun. We'll have to see. See, these stickers are beautiful, but they're so vintage. It's not the vibe I'm looking for right now. These are some of my old sticker sheets that I actually made myself when I used to have an Etsy shop. Okay, that box is done. On to the next. And here are more like pads of paper. So these are more like greenish and these are more pinky. As you can see, these are the colors that I lean on very often. Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be much in here that's helpful, to be honest. In here I have a bunch of just random ephemera, scrap papers like this that I'll just like rip up, but a lot of this is very like dark academia, artsy. This is stuff that I used from a November setup last year. A color palette that I would love to lean into is a little bit of black and a little bit of red and a little bit of yellow. Primary colors almost, except just not blue, like you're replacing blue with black. But I don't have much yellow and red, as you can see. Those are the colors I'm looking for and I don't have much of it. Okay, here's some red down in here. I'm gonna pull out this big piece of red paper. I don't know what I could use it for, but for something potentially. Ooh, this is cute. Yep, that's red. Oh my gosh, my favorite movie. I love that movie. When Harry Met Sally is a classic. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Do yourself a little favor. Okay, once again, there's not much in here. And honestly, this is not bright red enough for what I'm thinking. Oh wait, I want this. This is important. Okay, wait, down here, there's some yellow. I don't know what that is, but it could be useful. Ooh, bright red. Poppies, yes. Let me take that out. All right, this is the last one. And here we have a bunch of like random washi tape samples that I used to get in my pen pals a lot. And then there are also things like these, which are stamps. I had to split my stamps up with my sister whenever I left for college. So these actually don't match this. Half of them are butterflies, half of them are stamps. But these ones I will definitely use as like a finishing touch at the end of the spread. So I'll put these aside for now. Looking in here, okay, here's some yellow. This could definitely work. This is red. Oh, it's also red. Okay, I can do that. This is the washi tape that I have also on hand with me. This is actually not washi tape. This is like a label maker, but I think I'm gonna use this to type something. So I'm gonna put these together also to the side. I could definitely use the black, this red, although it's kind of peeling up. White, probably not. This black I could also use. And I think everything else in here is too beige. So let's just take these three out. Okay, so after all of that searching, here is what I have come across. We have a bunch of random strips of paper, random ephemera stickers that I could possibly use but have no actual plan for. A couple bits of washi tape, the label maker, like I said, a bunch of stamps, and then these two pieces of paper that I think I'm going to use. So the next step is called futz around and find out, because I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but we're gonna hopefully put something together. So like I kind of showed you earlier, my plan is to kind of put this like coming off the side like that. I think that this is just like such a big piece of paper. I want it to really take up space. The issue is that white on white is not ideal, so I want to add some stuff behind it to make it pop, you know? And that's where I want like the red and the yellow to come in mostly, and also a little bit of black, but I'm thinking mostly red and yellow. So I'm really just gonna like take a bunch of just random stuff and place them around and see like where things look good. And again, it's difficult because this doesn't want to lay flat. Maybe if I put like these scissors on top of it, it'll like hopefully kind of stay. This sticker sheet might be hard to see because it's like see-through, but these are like a bunch of dogs and old men, and that's just so freaking adorable. So we're definitely using this somewhere. These cats are also like black and red, which is exactly the vibe I'm looking for. I'm actually leaning like a lot more black and red now than I am yellow and red. I still want to add pops of yellow though. It just may not be as prominent. We'll have to see. But I think I want like this corner to be pretty heavy as far as like darkness goes. I could just add black paper. Like I could just pull out my black paper sketchbook, which has a bunch of just random sheets of black paper that are perforated. So if I gently tear one out, then I have plenty of black paper that I could use behind something. I'm always a big fan of ripping rather than cutting, just to have more of a natural, messy, imperfect look. It's like, okay, if this went in the corner somehow and then this went on top, I still want other things to differentiate between these two. Now, one thing that I do not have that I wish I did was a glue stick. Unfortunately, I do not have one at the minute. I need to get my hands on one of those, but in the meantime, I'm just going to use double-sided tape to stick everything to the paper. I like to use double-sided tape for big things. Like when I do artwork and put it in my bullet journal, I usually do this because it's very strong and you only need to use a little bit of it on the corners, things like that. But when I'm doing multiple layers, I feel like it's just sometimes nice to just use glue. I'm trying to see if this can maybe be a pop of red in the corner. Whatever, we'll see what happens. It's not perfect. Also, this is hanging off the end of the journal, just so you know, but I will cut it off in just a minute. I'm just like, you know, placing things, messing around. We'll see what happens. It doesn't have to be perfect, you know? The thing about junk journaling is that you literally cannot focus on perfection. I'm trying my best to, you know, create something that I like and I think is beautiful. However, it's not going to be perfect no matter how much I try. And I think that the messiness of it actually leans more into the aesthetic, to be honest. So although I am like focusing hard on like, where does this go and where should that go? It's really not about that. And I need to like calm it down, to be honest. It's really more about just like having fun and placing things everywhere, because what are you gonna do with random scraps of paper like this except for put them in a journal and make pretty things, you know? I'm like leaning very heavily into like putting a strip of this on the bottom somewhere here. Okay, what about this? So I'm wondering if this is ugly or not. I can't tell if I like this polka dot. I don't know if it's like too muted of a red or if it's like bright enough, because a lot of this other red is like much more saturated in comparison, but like also I could make it work. Maybe I just like put it down. Who cares? So when I do something that's gonna go over the corner like this, I always do one side first and then go up to the crease in the middle and like emphasize where that crease is. I can even like close the journal and really emphasize it before I place down the other side. That way I know that when the journal closes and opens, we're still keeping the paper in the right spot. All right, I think I'm gonna just like bite the bullet and tape this receipt down. I'm gonna rip off the top a little bit because I don't want all that extra white space. And again, this would be a great thing to glue rather than having to tape, but unfortunately here we are. Also, I do know that this is a very like wrinkled receipt. It was in my purse yesterday and I did accidentally throw it away before I pulled it out and realized that I wanted to journal with it. However, in my opinion, like the creases add more shadow and messiness. And again, the whole point of junk journaling is to be junky. It's to have it be a little messy. So it's totally okay. I'm just gonna kind of somewhere around there. And again, I'll make sure I have that crease in the middle. I'll do one side here, tape it down, and then I'll get the other corner afterwards. And I don't think I got this bottom part very well, so I'll just kind of sneak another piece under that corner and get it to lay flat right there. And then this extra bit I will cut off in just a few minutes. Right now I'm thinking I need more balance. I need more red up here and more black down here. So I'm going to take this little poppy sticker and I think I'm going to layer it on top of the receipt. These are one of those stickers that are really hard to get my nail under so I can actually peel it off. Okay, so I don't mind if it covers up a little bit of this, but I am going to try to make it so that the flowers aren't blocking the front. There we go. Press it down. Now it's no going back because I pressed it. And then I definitely want some more black down here. I'm debating putting this sticker here, but like that's kind of huge, to be honest. Maybe I do. Like what the heck? Okay. Oh, there's still a price tag on the back of this from whatever I bought at the Pioneer Women's Mercantile. All right, so there's something. I do have this cat sticker as well that I wanted to put somewhere. I don't know if I like it there. Now this bright red thing I want to do somewhere up here to kind of add some more color in this area. I am going to do a little bit of like writing in here. I'm not quite sure what yet. We'll kind of figure that out, I guess, later. However, for the meantime, let me see if I can get a little strip of washi tape up here. I know that's crooked, isn't it? I want to bring in a little bit of yellow, so I'm going to pull out this strip thing. Does this have a sticky back? I'm not quite sure. I don't believe it does. Let me just get a little tape to put on here, do a little overlap right there. And then I'm wondering if, well, actually I don't like how this looks overlapping there. Maybe I move this somewhere else. But I do want more red in this corner. Let me see, what can I do that could add more red up there besides doing like one of these stickers? Okay, I actually don't mind that, like coming at an angle there. I think I'm gonna put this sticker on top, rub it on, and then I'll cut off the excess in just a minute. I like to do it all at once just to make things easier at the very end, but I still want to use this a little bit. I'm debating if it looks good down here. I also think there needs to be more yellow in here. Like I'm still missing the yellow. I do have these dots that I haven't used yet. I think if I pulled off one of these and maybe put this one up here, I have to take a little yellow dot, maybe put it like here. And now that the yellow feels a little bit more balanced, so then I can peel off the back of this. I sure hope that's straight. I think it is. I think I want to add this like up here. Maybe it looks good like right here in this little corner. And then let me see if I can take this washi tape, which has a little bit of gold on it, which kind of ties back into that yellow once again. And I do want to make it a little slimmer, so I'm just going to cut off a little bit off of each end. So I feel like it's a little thick and I only want like bits with the gold on it. Putting it down that bottom corner to just add more darkness down there, kind of balance out the amount of black up here with the darker black down there. I'm looking at all the other stickers that I have and I'm wondering if anything else might work. I like these little like clippies. It might be fun to like put one at the top as if it's like holding the receipt, even though it's not. This may be one I have to cut myself. So I'm just gonna cut around this one because I think it's the easiest. Not perfect, but it'll do. And now I can try to peel off the back. There we go. No, it looks kind of cute, like holding up the little receipt like that. Wait, there, that looks super cute. Again, I hope it's centered because at this point it's too late. Pulling out these clear sticker sheets again, I think I want to find maybe this one. So I don't know where on this it would actually show up, but like I want to have a little grandpa. I would love to like put one of the grandpas and one of the puppies together. I wonder if they would look dumb or cute, like covering bits of the receipt down here. I'm not quite sure. They don't really stand out very much, but also because I want to write in these other sections, I'm not quite sure if I want to like fill up too much space with a sticker. So I think I'm just gonna like stamp a little grandpa guy right there and then put the little puppy kind of in this space that's free. Does it look dumb? I'm not quite sure, actually. I'm not quite sure. All right, so now I think I'm going to cut off the excess. Let me kind of flip over, just take the scissors and round about the edges of the journal. All right, so everything is cut out now and I'm honestly pretty happy with how this spread is looking so far. A couple last finishing touches, I think, and that is firstly stamps. So I have this black ink pad that honestly is years old, so I'm just praying it still has enough ink to make things work. But this date stamp I also haven't used since September of last year. So I'm just going to slide up to 2025 and find the right date. Let's see, it is February 23rd. Stamping in here really hard so we get all the black ink on there, and I think I'm just going to do it right up here in this little gap. Perfect. 23 February 2025. I also have a couple of these stamps I was just telling you guys about earlier. We have some butterflies, some like stamps, like mailing stamps. I think I want to use this little one because it's not going to take up that much space. These are supposed to be added to like a stamping block that you can use, but I don't have one, so I am going to be just ghetto and use my fingers and probably get them super dirty, but we're just going to press super hard into the stamp pad like this, and then I think I'm going to do it maybe right here. There we go. Oh, I like that. It looks super cool. And that is why we also have this protector sheet. That way, even though it has still some ink on it, we'll just cover it up and it won't mess anything else in my ephemera box. Lastly, I did say that I wanted to use this label maker that I have that I don't use very often. Obviously, there's a lot of black on this spread, so I feel like instead of making my own header, doing it with white letters on black paper might honestly be easier. I think this like goes in here. So I have to like click it a few times. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna title it Bookshop because I went on a little bookshop yesterday. So I scroll around to the letter B and then I click and then I go to the O's and etc. all the way down. And then I scroll around to the scissors and cut it off. There we go. A little hard to use, but once you kind of get the hang of it, it gets easier. I'm just gonna trim off the left side and then we have our little label Bookshop that I can just peel off the back. And I'm gonna probably just stick it, I'll put it right up here at the top and center. Now I'm going to pull out my pen and do just a little bit of journaling. If you guys know me, no spread is done without a couple of little tiny sparkles going pretty much everywhere around the blank spots. I don't know why, but I always add just a few little like dots and sparkles to finish off my spreads. And with that, I think this one is done. Here's a closer look at everything. I basically just wrote about how yesterday I was going to go to Half Price Books, but my car broke down, so I had to go get it fixed first. It was quite an experience, but it was a fun time, and I rewarded myself with some books afterwards. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, subscribe. I post bullet journaling videos every single Saturday, and I will see you guys next week.